Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and we're going to be talking about Solo, a Star Wars story, directed by Ron Howard and starring Alden Ehrenreich, hope I'm saying that correctly, Thandie Newton, Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, and a slew of others. This is a story of the origins of Han Solo and how he got his Millennium Falcon, how he met Chewie, how he got his blaster, and so on and so forth. Now, like a lot of people, I went to see this movie. Granted, I am a huge Star Wars fan, but I didn't feel any excitement when I heard about this movie and knowing everything that went on in the making of this film. Let's talk about how I feel now that I've seen it. First of all, the visuals. This movie has a great look about it. It has, it does feel like it belongs to the Star Wars universe, but at the same time, it feels like its own thing. Rogue One as a movie, Rogue One is actually my favorite in all the new Star Wars films that have come out. And Rogue One did that too, where they gave you a visual feel that it felt like it fits in that world, but it was its own thing. And they do that here with Solo as well. The score is fine. Honestly, nothing really stood out to me, but the score works fine. And like I said, visually this movie, it fits within the universe. It feels like it's its own thing, but it also is very familiar. That said, that's all there is to that aspect of it. It doesn't really give me anything. I did like the look of the Falcon, you know, it was fresh and new, so to speak. I like the characters and the costume designs. Again, it looked like something we've seen before, but there was also touches here and there that felt new. The characters in this movie, with the exception of Donald Glover's Lando and L3, who I don't know the actress's name, but she did a fantastic job. Once again, we have a droid stealing the show. I don't know what it is with Star Wars recently, that every time there's a droid in the movie, we had K2SO, we had BB-8, and now we have L3. That just seem to steal every scene that they're in. I don't know what that says about the human actors of this film, but Glover's Lando Calrissian managed to feel like his own thing, and at the same time, you could believe that, you know, the Lando that we know, this is who he would have been when he was younger. As for Alden's take on Han Solo, he did his best. He made the character his own while having certain quirks that seem familiar, certain things he would say, certain ways he would smile or stand or shoot. Definitely felt like something you've seen before with Harrison Ford's version. The issue with Alden is that he doesn't have that swagger that's necessary to pull off Solo. That's the thing about the character of Han Solo. He has that kind of devil-may-care feel to him, that, like I said, that swagger, that je ne sais quoi. Alden doesn't have that, and granted, he tries, he really does try, but his delivery sometimes comes across kind of flat or one note, and he really does not stand out in this movie the way he should, considering who this movie is about. You know, the side players here, Woody Harrelson's character, Thandie Newton. I actually liked Emilia Clarke's character of Qi'ra. I was hoping they'd go a little darker with certain aspects, but I liked what they did with Qi'ra because it made sense when you consider her journey. And I think his name is Voss, Paul Bettany's character. The thing about it, I've seen this movie twice, and in seeing it again, the big reveal that I'm not going to give away here, if you've seen it twice, you see little hints as to who's behind Crimson Dawn. They really do give you those little moments, and when you see it again, you're like, okay, right, that's why that was like that, that's why that weapon looked like that. So they do give you those hints, and I guess that's the benefit of seeing a movie more than once. But was his character dynamic? Not really. I mean, he doesn't have that much screen time in this. Bettany does fine with the role, but it's just another villain. You know, Jabba is more of a memorable villain, not just because of the way he looked, but he doesn't stand out really in any way. And this movie at its core is a heist movie, but the thrills are not really there. They have some very good action sequences. The one on the train heist, I should say, I like that a lot. I enjoyed the journey through the Kessel Run, I should say. I thought that was very well done as well. I said, like I said, visually this movie works, and I mean, you'd expect good visuals from Lucasfilm. You don't expect them to let you down, and they don't. That stuff is really strong. Everything else, you're watching this movie and it doesn't really cause you to feel anything for these characters. You don't really, besides seeing where, okay, we know where he got the Millennium Falcon from, the blaster, okay, interesting, Chewie's age, you know, their dynamic, all of that is fine, but it's completely unnecessary. It's kind of like what they want to do with the Joker, where they want to give us not one but two Joker origin stories. Totally unnecessary. I don't know why it is Hollywood thinks that we want to know more about these people. What makes a villain terrifying? What makes a villain interesting is the mystery behind that villain. And the same goes for certain types of characters like Han Solo. Everything Harrison Ford has given us for Solo, sorry, it's fine. I didn't need all of this. I didn't need to know about Han's background, so to speak. It did not add anything. So if you're telling me a story and at the end of the story there's nothing there for me, I don't feel anything different, I don't really care about the information you're giving me, then what is the point? And that is the biggest issue I have with this movie. There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's a perfectly solid, well directed, considering what went on in the background, what Ron Howard did. I think he redirected about 90% of this movie though. So, you know, all of this stuff is fine. It really is. It's a well-made movie, but it's an unnecessary story. Nothing here is worth telling us. We don't need any of this. If you want to do this, Lucasfilms and Disney, focus on the characters that people really want to know about. You know, you have your Obi-Wan Kenobi, even Yoda. I mean, it would be interesting to see how Yoda ended up where he did as a Master Jedi. I would be interested in seeing that story. I don't know if I'd be interested in watching an entire movie, but maybe Yoda and, you know, and some other characters around Yoda, that'll be fine. Definitely Obi-Wan. So overall, guys, what is there to say but this movie? It seems to me very indulgent on the part of Disney. It's unnecessary. I don't know why they think we wanted this, and it's done in a way that they leave it open for sequels of this story. I don't see why. I really doubt it's going to happen, considering this movie is not making anywhere near what they thought it would have. And I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10. Not because, you know, funny enough, if it was a character like Obi-Wan, this movie would probably fall in the spectrum of a 7 and a 7.5 for me. But for what it is, when the movie was done, there was no reaction with the audience I saw this movie with. Everybody's reaction seemed to be the same, like, okay, fine, it's a fine movie, but whatever. So Solo, A Star Wars Story, gets a 6 out of 10. Do I recommend seeing it? If you're a Star Wars fan, I would say still wait until it comes out on DVD or it's streaming on whatever service you use to watch it. There's no real reason to seek this out. I did see it at IMAX, and like I said, the visuals are fine, but they're not like, they're not mind-blowing or anything like that. They just work within the Star Wars universe. And that's it, guys. That's all I have to say about this one. So if you like this video, if you enjoyed it, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face somewhere over there. I'm also on Stardust. I do small 30-second reviews there. Same name, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And that's it, guys. So not too sure what's the big one on the horizon next. I think it's Ant-Man and Wasp. So I'll see you then. Maybe something else might come up in the meantime and we could take a look at that. But until next time, bye-bye.